he should go to jail, do a little time, and then get some therapy.
And the man in the mirror don't lie. And what he did was absolutely, totally wrong. And
you know what? I'll never have a son that's an attempted murderer.
Big drama in the Raja Jackson story. After the attack on wrestler Stewart Syko Stu Smith, Rampage Jackson is now blaming Stu for making things worse and even claims his son Raja was framed. Fans are shocked as this controversy keeps getting bigger. To begin with, Doe Malo explained that the LAPD is still building the case against Raja Jackson, gathering evidence and witness accounts, as many people, including his own family, witnessed the incident. He said the state will move forward with charges, with the key focus being whether there was premeditation based on conversations that took place before the attack.
It's so good. The detective I talked to outside of the case, just asked him about formalities, what I should look at, what not to look at. He was saying that this is just how LAPD works. They drag their feet. So they're building the case right now. They get all the evidence. The state's going to pick it up because there's so many people, so many witnesses. Heck, even my little brother saw it. My girlfriend, my mom, all the kids that saw it, all the people there. So that right there, they have the evidence enough to try the case. And then what they're trying to figure out is what level of premeditation.
On the other hand, the Wade Concept criticized Rampage Jackson for how he's handling the situation with his son's assault case. Instead of taking accountability, Rampage made excuses, like blaming sparring concussions or his son's behavior, which only made things worse. Wade explained that the more Rampage deflects and justifies, the more the public would keep dragging the issue back up, reminding everyone that his son nearly killed someone.
But Rampage is fueling this fire by continuing to act negligent as to what happened here and doing a lot of the finger point. Oh, my son was concussed from sparring. My son, he's not as smart as he should be. We get that. But also, you gotta own up to what he did. You have to. And I would stop addressing it if I'm Rampage. I would stop trying to talk about it because it feels like he takes the shovel out and digs himself further and further away from the truth, using more justification for other stuff happening either before or since. You can't get to the since without what he did. And just talking about what happened before doesn't address it either. But the more he keeps doing it, the more people are going to try to bait him. The more people are going to try to keep bringing the situation up. They're going to bring the assault up. They're going to bring up the fact that his son almost killed a guy and would have.
Meanwhile, Rampage Jackson addressed the situation, saying people assume he'd defend his son, but he's actually just as upset as everyone else. He explained that Raja lied to him during a live stream, hiding plans for revenge after nearly being knocked out in the gym the day before, which Rampage said he would have stopped if he had known.
People automatically assume that I'm going to defend my son and I'm going to like try to pay people off and get them out of trouble. I'm just as mad as Raja as they are. I'm just as mad because Raja lied to me because I was live streaming when he got hit over the head with the can, and I called him. I was like, son, what's going on? Like, what you doing? And he didn't tell me nothing about them working him into a match so he can get his revenge, so he can get his payback, because he know I would have told him take his ass home.
However, Rampage expressed frustration with Syko Stu for not calming down and for fueling the situation. He argued that Raja didn't sneak into the ring and admitted his son was more in the wrong, but also claimed Stu escalated things by hitting Raja with a beer can and grabbing him by the neck. Rampage suggested that if that hadn't happened, the incident might not have gone so far.
Now I'm upset. Now I'm upset with Syko Stu because he didn't come out and say, oh, whoa, yeah, what Raja did was f***ed up, but he didn't sneak in the ring and do this. It was staged. That's all he had to say to get some of these racist ass motherfuckers out of my DMs. He should at least said something. Take some accountability. Like, honestly, everybody was wrong. Raja was the most wrong. Everybody was wrong, but none of this ever would have happened if Syko Stu never hit my son on the back of the head with a can that they was drinking beer out of, and then grabbed him by the neck, asked him to sell it. Everybody's wrong. The dumbest thing I ever seen.
From Rampage's own perspective, he admitted that if the judge decides Raja should serve jail time, then so be it. He believed a short stint in jail, not prison, along with therapy, could help Raja learn self-control and understand the weight of his action. Rampage stressed that martial artists have great power and must be responsible in how they use it, something Raja failed to do in this situation.
The day before, he just almost got knocked out in the gym. So Raja know, and then so at first, you know, I had to get an attorney and all that, and attorney told me not to say nothing. Then I'm seeing everything unfold online. I'm getting all these DMs, and I'm like, now it's turned racist. I got racist people saying stuff to me in my DMs, which is okay. This happens here every now and then, just randomly somebody say something racist. But now I got the racist people threatening me and my family, like my other kids. I'm like, what does this got to do with race? One man hit another man on the back of the head with a can or whatever, whether it hurt or not. You call it a prop can, it was a real can. They was out there drinking beer. And then the other man decided to retaliate.
Additionally, Rampage revealed he is paying Raja's legal fees, but admitted he can't control him because Raja refuses to listen to his advice. He expressed disappointment. Raja's actions have dishonored his name and damaged the reputation that he built over many years in MMA.
I'm paying for his legal fees. I'm here for him for that, but listen, Raja, he want to be an adult. He want to do everything his way. He won't take my advice. I can't make Raja do anything. But Raja has been doing the opposite of whatever I've been telling him to do. I've been in this sport for a long time, and when he did that, they're like, son of MMA, Rampage Jackson goes out. That's my name.
Moving forward, Rampage said he's done stressing over the situation. He wanted to leave the drama behind and focus on streaming and positivity, but his anger is clear as he admitted he'd rather go to prison than keep dealing with the mess.
Other kids, and we had nothing to do with none of this. Roger was he fucked everything, so then I'm over this. I'm streaming for you guys and being a more positive person. I'm not gonna let this stuff bother me, but I'd rather go to prison than go to the morgue or bury one of my kids.
At the same time, Rampage warned his nephew not to repeat Raja's mistakes, stressing that any bad action would reflect on him as family. He urged him to stay out of trouble, reminding him he's a good kid and encouraging him to keep it that way.
Don't ever make any mistake in life, because somehow, since I'm related to you, people are gonna look at me like it's my fault. Don't make no mistake.
Yes.
Don't do nothing bad.
Yeah. I try not.
In contrast, Michael Chandler defended Raja and emphasized that he doesn't need punishment but guidance. He explained that Raja isn't a bad kid, only someone who made a bad choice. Instead of punishment, Chandler feels Raja needs guidance and the right environment, which turns his life in a better direction. Michael Chandler said he doesn't need punishment, he needs guidance. He's not a bad kid, just made a bad choice. Once I adopt him and get him hanging out with wholesome kids like Hap and Ace, we're gonna turn his whole life around. From Big John's perspective, Raja is 25 and needs to stand on his own instead of relying on his father's name. He admitted Syko Stu was wrong for hitting Raja with the can, but noted Raja already accepted his apology. The real issue, he stressed, is that Raja later premeditated the attack, which crossed the line.
He's a 25-year-old man. Okay, and you can only ride on your daddy's coattails for so long before you got to step up and be your own man. The whole thing with the live streaming and all that stuff and what he did, the guy Syko Stu, who was the pro wrestler, pro wrestlers are always working, figuring out things, and he did something he shouldn't have done. He should not have hit Raja with the can. The can was, obviously it didn't have a whole lot in it, so it's not like it's going to hurt him, but it's a matter of you don't do that. And it was wrong. And at that moment, if Raj wanted to do something, that's your time to do it. When it comes to the point, once he shook the man's hand, said, hey, it's okay, the guy comes back and apologizes again, man, I'm sorry, all that stuff. And then he premeditates. And this is the part that's bad.
After the initial apology, AJ Mana reignited the conflict by telling Raja to give Stu a receipt as real payback for the earlier beer can spot that was supposed to be scripted. AJ came out as the true instigator who stirred the conflict back up.
You run in on his, you give him his receipt. You remember what a receipt is? Give him that receipt, bro. Tag his. If you got a problem with it, I'll run out there. Tag his.
Breaking it down further, David Otunga explained that AJ Mana's comment about Raja cashing in his receipt and meaning a light scripted payback in wrestling wasn't communicated clearly. Raja may have taken it as approval to go harder on Stu, which added to the confusion and escalated the situation.
Because in this scene, AJ Mana tells Raja that he gets to get his receipt, or cash in on his receipt. Now, a receipt in wrestling vernacular, that's the word for when say you're working with a guy and he hits you with a stiff shot. A stiff shot means it's a hard shot, not a safe shot, but something that they accidentally hit you too hard. Then you get to get a receipt on that person. So that means you get to give them a stiff shot back. But I understand there are times where, hey, a receipt may be warranted. But AJ didn't really thoroughly explain this to Raja. In fact, he says, you remember what a receipt is. So he's referring to allegedly another conversation they had about this where AJ explained to him what a receipt is. However, he then tells him to tag that MFer. I mean, tag him. So it sounds like he's telling him or even encouraging Raja to really hit him.
However, AJ Mana defended himself, insisting he only meant a mild wrestling payback, not a violent assault. He argued that Raja went off on his own, and now AJ feels unfairly blamed, with his life being ruined over something he didn't directly cause.
Before y'all judge me any further, just please let me explain. Ready? That's a receipt. That's all the I told Raja to do. Now my life is ruined over your lies.
Adding more criticism, Jesse on Fire pointed out that while Raja is responsible for what he did, AJ also shared the blame. By bringing Raja into the ring and vouching for him as being safe to work with, AJ made himself equally accountable. When Raja crossed the line, it reflected not only on him, but also on AJ, since he was the one who vouched for someone the others didn't really know.
The only reason Raja's there is because you brought him there. And then whenever it gets agreed to that he's going to go into the ring and do whatever, you're doing that solely because you know him and you're saying he's safe to work with, he's safe to do this. And then the guy goes in there and then does what he does. You're like, obviously it's Raja's fault, but it's your fault equally because you vouched for him. We don't know this guy.
From a legal standpoint, Chael Sonnen clarified that he never defended Raja or excused his actions. Instead, he approached the situation strictly from a legal perspective, pointing out that Raja's attack was clearly criminal and could even qualify as attempted murder if proven premeditated. His focus was on why authorities hadn't yet taken action despite the seriousness of the crime, not on justifying Raja's behavior.
That I would be so disgusting as to defend Raja Jackson and to make an argument that what Raja did was okay. The problem was, I don't think any of those things, and I didn't say anything remotely close to that. I tackled this from the same perspective both times, which is the legal perspective. You have this crime. You have a clear assault that might even be attempted murder if you believe it to be premeditated. The authorities are in possession of what you've already deemed is disgusting, horrifying, and criminal, but they haven't taken action. And I explained in both videos why they hadn't taken action. I never even touched on Raja, why he did it, Syko Stu, what happened to him, never touched it.
Similarly, Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen broke it down from a legal angle, pointing out that Raja Jackson could still face serious charges like attempted murder or aggravated assault, regardless of whether the victim presses charges. They explained that the state has the power to move forward if there's enough evidence, such as video footage and witness accounts.
My guess is the state, the Attorney General can bring up charges. I think
even if Stu doesn't press charges.
I believe so. I think you committed a crime. But I don't know.
Because in like a domestic violence situation, if you had a friend who beat up a girl, you always see them like they'll arrest them and they'll go to jail, but then they're like, yeah, no charges were pressed. The girl decided not to press charges.
Yeah, maybe.
According to Mark Henry, the incident happened because Raja lacked proper training and understanding of the wrestling business. He compared it to his own early days when he struggled with rough treatment and jokes that sometimes led to conflict. Henry felt Raja misread the situation while the person provoking him didn't realize how badly it could escalate.
I say that's what happens when people are not experienced to our business. And you have to be fully educated. You got to be fully trained. And people think that that's something that's not prevalent. But like when I came into wrestling in 95, 96, I had a lot of the same issues. I didn't like the ribbing. I didn't like the joking. And anybody that talked to me that I didn't think was worthy of having that kind of aggressive conversation, they got that work. And, I don't know the full story, but I do know what I saw. And it looked like he wasn't smart to what was going on. And the dude that was messing with him bit off more than he can chew.
Veteran Jeff Jarrett also weighed in on the situation. He said Rampage is a good man, but Raja needs to face reality. Jarrett explained that as part of growing up, Raja must look himself in the mirror and accept responsibility. What Raja did was completely wrong, and now he has to face the consequences of his actions.
Rampage is a great dude, a buddy of mine. We go way back. He's a wrestling fan from the Memphis, Tennessee area. But as a father, it is obviously an unfortunate situation. But Raja, I think, and everybody goes through this growing up. He's got to take a hard look in the mirror, and the man in the mirror don't lie. And what he did was absolutely, totally wrong. And he will pay for it.
Meanwhile, MMA Guru tore into Rampage Jackson after his excuses. Guru flipped the statement back on him, saying he's right because he could never do the reckless things Rampage has done, like crashing into a pregnant woman during a police chase or having a son accused of attempted murder. He made it clear that he could never live guilt-free after things like Rampage has done, showing that Rampage's excuses don't make sense.
He loved the sport of MMA. Those people be hating on us because they can't do what we do.
Yeah, I could never. You're right, dude. Rampage, I could never do what you do. Those people be hating on us because they could never do what we do. You're so right, dude. I don't have it in me to crash into a pregnant woman in a high-speed chase. I'll never be on a high-speed chase from police. It just won't happen. You know what? I'll never have a son that's an attempted murderer. Just won't happen. You want to know why, Rampage? I'm not a retard like you. So you're right, dude. I could never do what you do. Never in a million years. I just couldn't pull it off. Just gallivanting through life guilt-free. I could actually never pull that off. If that situation had happened about this, where I knew I crashed into a pregnant woman, and I found out so-and-so amount of time later, she had a miscarriage.
As for Stu, his teammates revealed that he suffered severe injuries, including fractures, tooth loss, and a lip laceration, leaving him unconscious when first taken to the ER. Though his recovery will be long and difficult, they confirmed he is now home from the hospital and maintaining a positive attitude. Stewart's teammates posted he has been released from the hospital and is now home resting. He sustained a serious head injury and was unconscious upon arrival at the ER. His injuries include trauma to both the upper and lower jaw, a laceration to his upper lip, and a fracture to the maxilla bone, which unfortunately resulted in the loss of several teeth. He has a long road of recovery ahead, but he remains in good spirits despite everything he has been through. Additionally, his teammates expressed deep gratitude for all the support him during his recovery, whether through donations, food, flowers, or gifts. They said the kindness shown has meant more than words can express and closed with heartfelt thanks, love, and respect. Stewart's teammates posted, "We are deeply grateful for all the love and support we've received during this time. Thank you to everyone who has contributed in any way, whether through monetary donations, food, flowers, or gifts. Your kindness means more than words can express. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, with love and respect." The controversy surrounding Raja Jackson and Stuart Syko Stu Smith continues to shake the wrestling world. With heated reactions from Rampage, strong opinions from fighters, and legal consequences still looming, this story is far from over. The key questions remain, and will Raja face serious punishment? How will this affect Rampage's legacy, and what changes could be made to protect wrestlers in the future? Fans are locked in, waiting to see how this drama unfolds. If you found this breakdown informative, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think should happen next?